I thought that was a really good win for us. I know the Navy coach very well. I've known him for a long time, and he's a heck of a coach. And they have a nice ball club. And I'm just proud of our guys. Proud of Chris Arroyo and the start that he had. He got us off to a great start. And then everybody that pitched out of the bullpen did a really nice job. Wes Arrington, got us out of a nice jam there. Matt Buchanan did a nice job, and Drew Kennan was outstanding the last 2 1/3 innings, and that was great to see. That was a real boost for us. And I just feel like overall the last 8 days since coming back from Florida State, I feel like the team has energy. We're playing some of our best baseball, and what an important time to be able to do that. That said, they're going to now focus on their final exams and papers over the next week plus, and we'll get a few practices in and around their games schedule, or the exam schedule, but it'll be short and quick, and do what we need to do to get them prepared for our next game 1 week from today.
What did it mean to go into finals with a clean performance like this?
Yeah, I thought it was great. Last night we held on. Winning college baseball games is hard, but I was proud of our guys that we hung in there and did enough, and obviously a really well played, clean game today. And so I told our players that they should be as excited as ever about what this team's doing right now.
That's second start in a row for Chris Arroyo, and in the midweek that's been pretty good. What have you seen from him last week to this week?
Well, there's a difference in him as a starter, and I just think as he builds his pitches up, how he pitched today is how he pitched in the fall, and we have a lot of confidence in him, and I thought he did a fantastic job today. We drove up his pitch count more. It looked like there in the 5th inning he was starting to run out of gas a little bit. His ball got up a little bit at times, and it was time to take him out of the game. But just really proud of him and the job that he's doing for our team.
I've heard the term playoff baseball used by players and coaches. Yeah. Was that something you kind of talked about after when you got back from the Florida State?
I did, yeah.
When it kicked in?
Yeah, I did. I talked to them that our approach needs to be that, we can't give any games away. We might not win every game, but we need to treat it like this is the end of the season. It's got to be that kind of urgency. We put ourselves in that position. And so, they have responded over the last 7 games and played our best baseball. And they know what's at stake. They know that they've got to go out and play great baseball the rest of the season to have an opportunity to play in June. So that's been our message to them, and it's been consistent.
Is knowing how difficult the ACC is it critical not to stumble in these midweek games, particularly late in the year?
Yeah, sure. You can't put that kind of pressure on yourself. You gotta go out and be aggressive and play with urgency, and hopefully you're better in the other ball club and the other dugout. They know that we can't give any of these away. We have 8 games left on the schedule, and we have to capitalize on every opportunity we have.
What's the advantage when you have a pitcher who works as quickly throwing strikes like Chris did today? What's the advantage?
Well, he doesn't put the defense to sleep. He gets on the mound and throws and keeps coming at you. And so that, as a defender, that's what I would love to play behind, and versus running into deep counts and falling behind hitters. He goes after you and he attacks you and executes. And so that's what you're looking for as a pitcher. But if you're a position player playing behind him, you love that.
How are you guys just planning to approach this weekend off with those few practices that you will get in?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take tomorrow off, and then one of the days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll take off as well, and we'll practice 2 of the days, very short, quick practices around their exam schedule, and get in the weight room but the priority has to be for them to focus on their exams. They're students first before they're athletes, and they all came to the University of Virginia for a reason, and that's to get a tremendous education. So that's got to be at their forefront of their thoughts right now.
I went back and looked, and some years you have had a 10-day break, 11-day break. This is just a week. What do you like about it? Is this ideal?
Yeah, it is. We started doing this a couple of years ago where we played on the Wednesday going into that ACC series when it's still in exams. And we've started doing that because 80% of our players are done with exams by that day. So it makes sense and allows us to get back out on the field to compete again before we play Miami next weekend.
Like, not looking too far ahead, but thinking ahead to the ACC tournament, like stretching out Arroyo and getting Bryson back yesterday. How critical is that, knowing that the tournament formats have changed?
Yeah, that's a great point. And you don't know which day you'll play on, and so that's part of the reason Drew Kennan got the opportunity today and got stretched out. And stretching out Arroyo, obviously having more back is a big boost. So when you go into the postseason, you need to have as many guys available as possible, and so some real bright spots from the pitching standpoint over the last couple of days.